Good morning, Gateway Rotary. How are we today? You know what? Seeing all of you, I have a lot of energy. It's great to see everybody here. So let's kick this thing off the right way. Rolf, could you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Fellow Rotarians, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Mike Robbins, would you lead us in the four-way test?
Fellow Rotarians, please join me in the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
is it true?
Second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
fourth,
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
and best of all, fifth.
Is it fine?
All right, welcome everybody. Excited to be here and ready to kick off this meeting. How's the back row today? All right, always great to hear from the back row. First, I'd like to welcome some of our visiting Rotarians that we have here in the room. We have our Assistant Governor from the Lacey Club. Let's hear it for Bill McGregor.
Bill McGregor!
And from South Puget Sound, we've got Patrick Beeler.
Yay! Another Beeler?
Yeah.
Do we have any other visiting Rotarians? And usually at this time of the day, I see Patrick at the gym. So it's great to see him here at a Rotary meeting.
Hey, Patrick.
All right, we've got a couple of guests here that I wanted to welcome. Nate Peters, you have a guest. Nate?
Our speaker today is Joseph Anderson. He is the director of the Lacey Makerspace. And you'll learn more about that.
All right. What? I can't even read this one.
I've got a guest.
Okay, go ahead. That must be it. 'Cause I can't read it.
Healing guru. She does like massage therapy, but she's interested in her club. She's over there.
All right, let's hear it from Monica. And Troy, you do a great job there, but as far as your handwriting goes, we'll have to talk. I got another guest. Mike. Mike, you've got a guest?
I do have a guest. I brought Jerry Osborne here with Restoration 1 water damage. As you guys know, I'm a plumber. We deal with water issues, and so Jerry here I've done a lot of work with. He's growing and expanding his company, so if you guys end up with water restoration or mold or even like construction needs, I think he can help you out.
Awesome. You're welcome. Good having you. Any other guests? All right, fantastic. At this time, first of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to our annual meeting. We have this obviously every year. That's what an annual meeting is. But this is also where we held our election of officers. So with that, I'd like to just introduce our nomination chair for this year and former Gateway president. Let's hear it for Eric Rowe.
All right, pursuant to the bylaws, we're going to have our annual meeting and our vote, and we're going to actually have two votes. And I'm just going to reiterate the slate of officers that we talked about a month ago. So the nominating committee want to thank them, Mindy Ruley, Patrick Davidson, Jonathan Sprosky, past president, and Janine Nizell, who's your president-elect. Let's give it up for them for that tough job. All right, so what we're going to do here, here's the slate. The nominating committee proposes the following slate of officers for the term of July 1st, 2020 through June 30th, 2021. So for President, Janine Nizell, Vice President, Nate Peters, Secretary, Jerry Wilkins, Treasurer, Mike Jones, Sergeant-at-Arms, Mike Leonard, and Director-at-Large, Shannon Glenn. So we'll go ahead and I'll entertain a motion to accept that slate.
I move that we accept.
Wait a minute, comments over there?
Mr. President, I move that we, for unanimous election of the slate of nominees as presented by the chair.
So, all right, any discussion about that?
Second.
Okay, we're not in 7th grade elections anymore. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Okay, motion carries unanimously. One more vote. For the nominating committee proposes for the following slate of an officer for the term of July 1st, 2021 through June 30th, 2022. President Amanda Bay. I'll entertain a motion to accept that.
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second? There's a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed say same. Motion carries. Congratulations, officers.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, everybody. And, you know, I'm just excited because you're going to get an upgrade next year, and I think everybody's happy about that. Okay, let's go to our Think Rotary, and as you're thinking about it, I'd like to just remind everybody this is a great opportunity for us to recognize people in the private sector especially, but anybody who's doing great things for the Rotary. So I see somebody in the back row with Madeline. Go ahead.
I have the privilege of going to Linnaeus, that's John Graham's wife, and I did some Christmas shopping and shopping church.
All right, well, let's hear it for John Grantham's wife. Hey, Andrew. Let's hear it for Andrew.
Hey, Andrew. Oh, yeah, that was good. What am I, politician? So, good to see everybody. Glad to be back. Sorry I've been busy. A little 976 issue. I want to give a shout out to my good friend Kurt with GHB. Many years ago through this organization, lots of networking going on. He handles all my insurance stuff for the corporation. And with everything I've got going on, this last thing I need to be worried about, and he comes in and just lays it out, boom, done. So thank you for helping us out area. Thank you.
Yeah, Kurt. All right, fantastic. One more out there. Jonathan.
Well, Andrew just stole mine, but I was going to say the same. It's health insurance renewal season, and we use Kurt Vanderman too, and I met him the same way through Rotary here, and it really does make it a lot easier. So thank you, Kurt. Thank you.
Let's hear it for the Vanderman. All right, well, thank you for that, folks, and we're going to move right into our Rotary Foundation Minute. And a member of the Foundation Committee will now share more information about the Rotary International Foundation and the good we accomplish in the world through our collective support. So let's hear it for Nita.
Good morning, Rotarians. Thank you to those who participated in last month's Foundation Month. How many gave last month? Imagine you got 100 points, you gave 100. Way to go. Now, keep your hand up. How many of you already given this fiscal year to the foundation? Everybody. Woohoo! If your hand isn't up, come and see me. All right. So what can your $100 do? It's as simple as having a notebook, pencil, and a glue. In Pavas, a poor district in San Jose, Costa Rica, a packet of educational materials means the difference between an education and working on the street. Most public schools in Costa Rica are underfunded and lack many basic supplies, so the Rohr-Moser Rotary Club Costa Rica developed a packet of teaching materials for students and partnered with the Vancouver Rotary Club, Vancouver, Canada, to distribute 777 packets to children in 5 very poor elementary schools. $100 buys 15 packets. Without this project, many students would not be able to continue their education and would be forced to drop out of school. Ooh. When every Rotarian every year participates, our foundation is able to continue to build a brighter future for children of the world. So give yourself a big applause.
Thank you, Nita. That's fantastic and great work that the Foundation Committee continues to do. Great job, folks. All right, at this point, let's hear it for our Assistant Governor. Let's hear it for Bill McGregor.
One of the great things I get to do is go around and visit a lot of different clubs, and one of the things I'm honored and privileged to do is to recognize when clubs are doing great things in their community. And this club is certainly no exception. They do a lot of great things in the community, but most importantly, in the mail the other day I got a package from District Rotary, and it is an award to the Lacey Club for 2018-2019. Number 2 club in the district for annual.
You said Lacey Club.
Well, I'm emotionally attached to
We are kind of
Usually out of the 1,500 clubs in the district, they recognize the top 3, and Lacey has been recognized. I haven't been to my club for about a month either. So
let's all hear from Lacey.
My name's Len, not Ken.
So anyway, it is my privilege to give to the Gateway. They were number 2 in per capita giving in 2018 June 2019.
Yes.
Thank you, Gateway.
And thank you, Joe Downing. That was great. I really appreciate it. I see Joe out there. Hi, Joe. How's it going? Get our port commissioners confused there. Okay, great. We're going to move right on to one of my favorite opportunities for the club, and that's what we've got, a new member induction. So without any further ado, let's hear it for our membership chair, Shannon Glenn.
All right, good morning. If I could have Mike Leonard, Joe Wolf, and Eric Rowe. Eric Rowe is going to be his mentor. So this morning we're going to be inducting Joe Wolf, and I'd like to give him just a few minutes to tell you about himself.
Okay. Well, good morning. I guess I'm on. So my name is Joe Wolf. I work with Thurston County as the grants manager in the auditor's office, and I've been coming to Gateway Rotary for, I don't know, about 5 weeks. Mike invited me when I saw him out on a United Way fund ride at the county. So the things that I want to tell you about myself. So Shannon prepared me for this a little bit, and so there's some things you might not know about me. Like many people in Olympia, I'm a mountain climber. I've been up on top of Mount Rainier several times. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, now. Take it loose. Yeah.
Okay,
Good.
let's
Perfect.
do that.
Yeah.
Been on top of Mount Rainier several times. That's kind of my passion. However, I do have a couple of daughters now. They're teenagers, and as you all know, those that have kids, that takes up a lot of your time. So I haven't been out there doing that a whole lot. The other thing that I really like to do is ride motorcycles, and I talked to a few of you guys here in Gateway, and it sounds like that's a shared passion among many of you guys. So it's another thing that I like to do. I'd love to give back to the community, and I really feel like this is a great way to do that. You guys' investment in water, it really gets to my heart, and that's what I've tried to spend a lot of my life doing, making sure that we have safe and reliable drinking water. So I wanted to share that with you guys, and that's really about it. That's what I wanted to share. I'm glad to be here, and thank you for being with me.
And fellow Rotarians, you could join me in welcoming Joe Wolf to our club.
Get back down there for that. Congratulations.
All right, we're going to be leading right into our main program. So without any further ado, let's hear it for our Vice President, Amanda Bay.
Good morning, Tribe. This morning it is my pleasure to introduce Joseph Anderson from the Lacey Makerspace. He is the new director. Lifelong maker with a passion for functional design, Joseph is thrilled to be a part of a nonprofit makerspace investing in our community. He is a recent transplant to the area and an avid outdoorsman. Joseph has spent his management career in young, rapidly growing companies, first in medical supplies and most recently in the solar industry. Now working with the City of Lacey, St. Martin's University, and the Thurston Economic Development Council, Joseph is elated to launch Makerspace that will have positive economic and social impact. Please welcome Joseph Anderson.
Thank you all for having me. I know a few of you. By raise of hands, how many people have been in the makerspace? A smattering. Okay. So for many of you, this is probably a new thing, and so that's what we're going to talk about today. Let me get where I can see this. Okay. So we're going to cover 3 different things today. A little bit kind of history, backstory to this, local economy, the role of the makerspace, and the innovation ecosystem in which it resides. So, as many of you are business owners, heavily involved in the community, you recognize that there are some economic concerns that are happening right now. We have one primary employer in this region, state of Washington. We have a low to moderate income federal income designation, and we're under immediate threat of automation. Now this is kind of the doom and gloom stuff. We'll get to the positive stuff. So this threat is real. These threats are all real, and when the community leaders are talking, they're trying to figure out, okay, how do we overcome this? How do we raise people's income level? How do we diversify the employer base? And how do we overcome this threat of automation? And so there's a few solutions. Obviously, getting as many small businesses as possible. That is the goal. And many of you are in that category right here. So we just need more of you, essentially. Having a workforce that's self-sufficient. We have a lot of people who are heavily reliant on their employer, and if that employer goes away, they're in trouble. Building skills so they're more self-sufficient is key. And of course, innovation is huge to make this happen. Computers don't innovate, people innovate. So this overcomes that threat of automation. So the economic leaders in the community are looking at regulation. You know, the city makes it really easy here in Lacey to start a small business. We have 3 top-tier higher education facilities within 10 minutes, and the missing piece is innovation. That's what we don't have yet. And so that's where the makerspace comes into play. So the EDC, Center for Business Innovation, jumped on board with the City of Lacey and St. Martin's University and said, how do we get more innovation in the community, especially around products? Look at big businesses that are nearby. I'm an outdoors guy, so I look at like the North Face. I look at Gerber, Leatherman. These are all companies, and the list is a million miles long, that are local product-based companies that started with basically a guy in his shed building something. That's not as possible anymore because of the advance of technology. So the tools required to innovate now cost a lot more than they used to, take up a lot more space. So the guy in the shed is not as feasible as it once was. So we need a space where that is possible, that's open to the community. Now, this is part of a broader ecosystem. You know, the Lacey Makerspace is just one small part where people come and research, prototype, iterate, create that product. But then as they go up the chain, the partners between the city and the St. Martin's University and the EDC then come into play to provide that all-encompassing support that helps people create business plans, do marketing, get funding, and actually create a successful business. You guys got to be successful business people, I'm assuming with a little bit of help. And if you didn't have any help, you're the exception to the rule. But you're also the exception because most businesses fail. So if you succeeded, you're already the exception to the rule. How do we help more people succeed and increase that probability of success? And we just need to provide more support. So that's where the partners come in. So our vision is to be a catalyst for economic growth. We benefit the community by providing access to advanced design and fabrication tools, skill development, business and education resources. And I'll walk through a couple of those things real quick. But we're brand new, so we've been open just since October. This is a couple pictures from our grand opening in October. We had over 300 people show up. Thanks to a number of you in this room who were there and provided support and getting the word out. We really appreciate it. So we provide a few different services. You can be a member and have access to all the tools whenever you want. You can come take a class or workshop that's open to everybody. We have a studio space available to rent, and we offer fabrication services for those who don't have the time or inclination to do it themselves. So here's a quick list of some current equipment that we have. This is a laser cutter engraver. This is a $30,000 piece of equipment that can cut or engrave on almost any material very precisely. And so this is one of those tools that your average guy in his garage can't acquire. But by providing access to it, suddenly they can start creating things and innovating and bring a product to market. 3D printers is magical technology. The nice thing is they are relatively inexpensive. But most people just have a very small basic one in their house. We have 4 large ones And so you can do rapid prototyping and iterating with the 3D printers. A plasma cutter, that's a CNC plasma cutter that takes a computerized design and cuts it out of plate steel. And of course, we have lots more: wood shop, electronics, welding, the list goes on. Now, there are some things that we anticipate getting. We're applying for grants and sponsors to get these future tools. 5-axis CNC mill, metal 3D printers. So these types of tools then create more advanced types of prototypes and products. That's a real life Ironman that Adam Savage built using metal 3D printers, by the way. So the goal is really to be an engine of entrepreneurship. And we serve 4 different people, primarily the innovators. So if you're trying to bring a product to market, come to the makerspace. We have multiple examples currently happening of people who are building prototypes right now in the space and going after financiers to bring it to market. Students, of course. We purposely picked out tools that would be easy for students who are in the middle school and high schools that have makerspaces, and they can transition into ours as they are building things, and they can continue skill building and learning and creating. Veterans. One of the challenges getting out of the military is then having something to jump into. A lot of these guys have an idea for a business, but they don't have the capital to actually have the equipment or the space to do it because they're in a small apartment. So we cater to the veterans. And of course, it's small businesses. If you have a small business, you know, it's hard to cover costs for a piece of equipment that you only might need every 6 months. We have it in the space. You can come and use it. Now that picture is one of our makers. His name is Mark. What he's creating using 3D printers, the laser, and design on the computers is an AI mapping drone. So he's making a drone that uses AI to tell it where to go, and what he's trying to map is the ecosystem. His concern is the environment and climate change. So he wants to track that. So by creating this drone that automatically knows where to go, then he can track the changes over time. And he's in an economic situation that getting these tools himself would be impossible. But now that he has access to this, he's able to bring this product to life. So we're excited to allow that possibility. And this would not be possible without the makerspace. Now we are a nonprofit, so we do rely heavily on the investors, grants, donations. We do have small class revenues and membership fees to help maintain the tools. That picture on the right is just a little icon, but what these guys do is they make motorcycle parts. Once again, community members that wouldn't have access to these tools otherwise come into the space. They're using the CNC plasma cutter to cut out motorcycle parts that they're then creating a small business around. Only possible because of the makerspace. So we're so thankful for all the sponsors and investors who make this possible. Once again, we're just a small piece of this puzzle, and this is not possible without the support of many partners. So you might recognize a few names on here. Port of Olympia has been a huge support. We're so grateful. Forum Construction, MJR, SCJ Alliance. Now, these people have put forth capital, but other people have put forth labor and equipment. Capital Heating and Cooling came in and installed an AC unit that we desperately needed. Taurus Electric donated the labor to do that. So all of these companies have been instrumental in making this happen. We're so grateful for that. You might recognize a few familiar faces. This was our Labor Day.
Was that a makeup? I only see Joe Downing.
Did you make those actual scissors at the makerspace?
Yeah. We could. So there's various ways to contribute. Corporate membership. This is a great perk if you do have employees. So you can have a corporate membership and offer this to all your employees to come in and use the space. Sponsorships. Those names on the previous slides are all sponsors that then go out in all of our marketing material and we talk about whenever we're doing a presentation. Not possible without that. If you have equipment or labor that you can donate, please do. That's really why we've been able to acquire all the things we've been able to do. Then volunteer. We rely as a nonprofit on volunteers to do all the things that are needed in the makerspace. And this is my information. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. Thank you very much.
Alright, do we have questions?
So Joseph, if I wanted to go in and just do a one-off for my own self, like using a plasma machine, can I do that?
Absolutely. Yeah. We have a lot of people who just come in for, just buy a 1 month pass because they just have one project, so they just come in, do their project. As long as we can certify you on the machine, you can use it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any engineers on site that might help with ideas or innovations?
We do. That's one of the beautiful things about working with St. Martin's, because we're tied in with their engineering program. And so we elicit their help. In fact, we have a senior engineering student right now who does our fabrication work. So he'll sit down and do a one-on-one consultation to say, okay, what's your idea? How do we get this actually produced? What tools do you need to do, and what skills do you need to work with you one-on-one on that? Yeah.
You said if you are a member, you have access, and you have workshops. Is there a fee for the workshops? And if you're a member, do you have access to the workshops?
Yeah, the workshops are open to everybody. There is a fee for them. The members get discounts to them, heavy discounts. So that's one of the advantages of being a member.
What is the membership fee?
They vary. The standard fee is $150, but because of these sponsors on the wall, we're able to get scholarships that drop the price down to $50 for the innovators, $30 for students, and $30 for veterans. Those prices are scholarship based, so they're only possible because of the support of the sponsors. Yeah. Other questions?
All right, well, thank you. Let's hear it again. All right, so don't go anywhere. One of the things is that everybody knows part of our literacy program supporting Pleasant Glade Elementary School is we donated a book signed by our speakers. So today we've got Grace Hopper, Queen of Computer Code. So computer being part of what a lot of stuff that you're doing, the great things that are happening at Makerspace. So thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay, Sylvia, if you could start coming down this way. We're now at the point where we're going to be doing some announcements, some general announcements from our committee chair. So let's hear it for Sylvia.
Good morning. It's a great day at Gateway. We are having an incredible social tomorrow. Who knows about it? Yay! Service project for Pleasant Glade, wrapping presents and combining food drive items. It is at River's Edge from 4 to 7. Hope you can be there, have a little holiday drink, and help us wrap presents for Pleasant Glade.
Yeah. Go back.
Is there still tags available to purchase gifts or whatever?
Can you help me out with that?
There was one. It was the Spryzen drone. I don't know if anybody purchased it, but it was around $14 or $15 at Target. That was the only one.
So you found it? It's at Target?
Yeah, I think I did. I can email you if you would like to claim it.
I will claim it.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Need wrapping paper and that kind of stuff?
Yeah, so we've got donations of wrapping paper and tape and scissors, but any extra would be great. I know that Mary's helping us out, and some of you guys have brought wrapping paper in the past. So whatever we don't use, we can divvy up or give to somebody else. So if you bring wrapping paper, we would love it. Any other questions? River's Edge, does everybody know where it's at? Nice. All right.
Let's hear it for Sylvia. And I love that we're doing these initiatives now. We're pairing off the social to other activities that are going on. So great job by both the social committee and getting everything else together. So really appreciate it. I got a couple announcements real quick. Paul Harris dinner. Who signed up for the Paul Harris dinner? I know Bill, myself, of course, Patrick, great. Anyone else? Great, well, let's no, we got more. All right, the Paul Harris dinner will be held on March 19th, which again is my oldest daughter's birthday at Hotel RL. Early bird and new Rotarian pricing is available, and we have had a great job by the Foundation Committee and all of you as far as being able to fund more into the foundation. And because of that, we're going to have a lot of folks that I think are going to be recognized with Paul Harris Award this year. So if you're one of those folks, make sure you sign up. If you're a new Rotarian, it's a great way to meet folks that are in other clubs. And I really hope everybody goes to the website. So again, it's paulharrisdinner.com, and we'll send out some emails so that you guys have that. But please make sure you do that. That'd be great. The other thing I want to make sure everybody's thinking of is the district conference. I know it sounds like May is a long time away, but it really isn't. And I'm hoping everybody can put onto their calendar. Again, it's not Mother's Day this year, which is great. It's going to be May 14th through 16th in beautiful Victoria, BC. And I hope as many of you can sign up, because I really want to make sure that Gateway is present, being loud like we are, being the force that we are, and I think it's going to be a fun time. So without any further ado, I am going to say goodbye to our folks at home. Thank you very much for tuning in. We'll see you next time as we move on to the next part of our program.